Welcome to build number 7, a 1998 Yamaha XJR1300, a big air-cooled muscle bike that's clearly seen better days. When it arrived, it was half-stripped, mismatched, and sitting somewhere between Streetfighter and unfinished project. The first real change started with the tank. I decided to stick with the Hornet tank and made it fit the XJR frame. At the same time, I was testing seat height. I wanted a riding position that felt aggressive, but still usable. This is one of those small decisions that completely changes the personality of the bike. With the tank sitting where I wanted it, the next step was the rear. Instead of trying to modify it, I started from scratch. I cut the old section off and fabricated a new subframe to match the tank line and seat height. At this stage, everything is about geometry, making sure the rear flows naturally from the tank without kicking up too high or dropping too low. This is where the bike starts losing its old identity and taking on a new one. With the subframe finished, it was time to shape the tailpiece. Instead of buying an off-the-shelf tail, I decided to build my own. I used filler foam to sculpt the tailpiece directly onto the new subframe, building it up slowly, step back, adjust the lines, trim it down, and keep refining the shape until it flows naturally from the tank. I wanted the rear to feel sharp, but not exaggerated. Something that looks factory at first glance, but completely custom when you look closer. With the tail shape coming together, I turned my attention to the front of the bike. The oil cooler area looked exposed and unfinished, so I decided to build custom cowls to frame it properly. Just like the tail, this started with foam. I shaped the panels to follow the engine lines and tie the front and rear of the bike together. At the same time, I began working on a belly pan. The goal wasn't just aesthetics, it was balance. Once I was happy with the rough shapes, it was time to refine everything. Foam is great for building volume, but it's not precise. So I covered the filler foam in plaster to start locking in the final lines. This stage is all about patience. You apply, let's set, sand it back, then do it again. Small adjustments here completely change how the bike flows from front to back. Once the lines were exactly where I wanted them, it was time to make them permanent. I built mold from the finished plaster shapes and laid up fiberglass copies. This is the point where the design stops being an idea and becomes real parts. After curing and trimming everything back, I test-fitted the panels onto the bike. And for the first time, it all came together. The tank flowed into the tail. The oil cooler cowls framed the engine properly. The belly pan anchored the whole lower section. It finally looked like a complete motorcycle again, just not the one it started as. Before stripping everything down for paint, I needed to know one thing. Does it ride the way it looks? So I bolted everything together for a first test run. No paint, no polish, just raw fiberglass, exposed metal, and a lot of anticipation. The new subframe felt solid. The riding position was exactly where I wanted it. And that big air-cooled motor still had all the torque the XJR is known for. This stage is important, because once it comes apart for paint, there's no going back easily. But after that first ride, I knew the foundation was right. After the test ride confirmed everything worked, it all came apart one last time. Every panel was prepped, every surface block sanded smooth, every edge refined. Then it finally went to paint. I chose a clean, light finish for the body, something modern and sharp, and paired it with bright blue wheels to give it that punch of attitude. Once everything cured, it was time to bring it back together. Fresh paint, clean hardware, careful alignment. And for the first time, it looked finished. Not like a project, like a factory-build Streetfighter.